Going on, horror game? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host Marcus. Please shoot that like button, subscribe to the channel, as well as hit that notification icon to get all latest content updates to the channel. In this video, I have some breaking news as it pertains to Halloween Ends debuting its trailer at CinemaCon tonight, with some details of Michael and Laurie having a kitchen fight, as well as me giving you my whole new theory on how this ending could possibly end for Halloween Ends. Before I do that, let's hit that intro. I shot him 6 times! Alright gang, so let's get into it. So, as I said in the beginning of the video, CinemaCon took place tonight, and Jamie Lee Curtis was there with David Gordon Green to promote Halloween Ends, as well as to debut the trailer. Now, before I get into the juicy details, I just want to give a special shout out to, in my opinion, the greatest final girl of all time, and Jamie Lee Curtis. This is her last Halloween film. Whether the character Laurie Strode lives or dies remains to be seen, but I, as a fan of this character and as a fan of the Halloween franchise, just want to say thank you, Jamie Lee Curtis. Thank you for coming back for this whole new trilogy. You did not have to do so, and thank you for all the hard work and dedication that you put into making this character great and making it the character what it is, and making us want to keep spending our hard-earned money to put our asses in the theaters to watch this character story unfold. So, as I heard about this news about CinemaCon taking place and about the trailer debuting, I decided to hit Twitter to see if anybody was posting anything, see if anybody that was at the event, was posting anything about it, see, if they gave any details away. Now, I'm glad that I didn't get a lot of details because I don't want the whole movie spoiled, but I did see a couple interesting tweets, and I'm going to talk about them here now. It's basically the same thing. First one reads, hashtag Halloween Ends footage at CinemaCon description montage of all previous canons, Laurie narration, showdown in the kitchen with Myers, Laurie standing over him. Then the second tweet reads, first look at Halloween Ends shows Jamie Lee Curtis get upper hand on Michael Myers in a whole new killer way. Alright guys, so let's unpack this. Now, I want to talk about another tweet that I had seen on top of these ones, and it was from somebody responding to the tweet, and he said, isn't this whole kitchen scene kind of like the one in Halloween 2018? And when I read that, that really got my gears grinding, and I started to think, you know what, because now you got to also put into perspective, if they're having a showdown in the kitchen, let's not even get to the fact that Laurie apparently has the upper hand, etc. If they're having a showdown in the kitchen, I'm going to go with the premise that this is maybe, if not the ending, it's hitting towards the ending. This has to be part of the final act of the movie. They're not going to be attacking each other in the middle of the movie. It just obviously doesn't make sense. This scene has to be towards the end of the movie. Now, with that being said, with that tweet from that response from that person who said, hey, doesn't this seem like Halloween 2018 scene with Laurie and Michael fighting in the kitchen? And it started getting me thinking, yeah, it kind of does feel like that, obviously. But then it got me thinking, what if this scene in the kitchen isn't at Laurie's house or somebody else's house, maybe Lindsay's, etc., or Hawkins' house, like we may think on first sight? What if this scene, this kitchen fight scene, is at the Myers house? Now, the reason why I say that is because think about the end of Halloween 2018, you guys. When, Laurie, lights everything up and the whole house starts to go into flame. Remember that model of Michael Myers' house that she had, and it engulfed in flames? Now, with that person's tweet, obviously saying, hey, doesn't this, whole kitchen scene from this new Halloween Ends trailer kind of, seem like Halloween 2018 all over again? Well, got me thinking, what if the ending of Halloween Ends is going to be the actual Myers house burning down with Michael inside his house this time instead of Laurie's house. Now, the reason why I say this could be very, very possible, and it kind of wouldn't be a bad ending. It would kind of really be anticlimactic because of, the whole model of Myers' house burning in 2018. It would kind of be like as if this was Laurie's plan all along, to a degree, that as if, okay, if she couldn't, get rid of him at her house, and they couldn't get rid of him in Halloween Kills, what if you take away the one thing that he cherishes the most? Now, a lot of people say the mask is the thing he cherishes the most. This is where I'm going to kind of debunk that a little bit, guys. And some of you guys might lose your mind and cuss me out in the comments. It's okay. You're entitled to your opinion, just like I'm entitled to mine. But what if the mask isn't exactly Michael's number one prized possession? Think about it from this perspective. From the simple fact is, we've seen Michael commit murders without the mask on. We've seen him chase Karen without the mask on. It's not like without the mask, Michael automatically stops being Michael. Even without the mask on, he is still Michael Myers. You've seen it in the original Halloween. You've seen it in Halloween 2018 when he killed those two podcasters. He doesn't need the mask to be who he is. But his house is his most sacred and prized possession. Think about what Lonnie said in Halloween Kills. He kills and he goes home. That's all he wants to do, is kill and go home. So think about, if this kitchen fight scene is in the Myers house, what if this scene is in the final act, and this is leading up to potentially, let's just say Laurie survives this, or you could say they both die in this house and burn together. Either way, I think that the house now becomes more important than the mask itself. For the simple fact is, like I said, that tweet really, by that response by that person, really got my gears grinding. Like, if they're mirroring a scene from Halloween 2018 with the kitchen fight scene, wouldn't it all but make sense to a degree that the ending mirrors what we saw in the ending of 2018, but just in reverse? Instead of Laurie's house burning, now it's going to be Michael's house burning to the ground. How about that? I would be okay with that ending. I would even be even more on board with that ending if you have both of them. Now, one could say, well, how could that work, especially if Allison is in the picture, etc. Listen, I'll put it this way. What if Laurie already sets the house on fire, right? And she's already banged up. There's no way she can possibly get out of that house. And the house is just burning to the ground or whatever. And Allison's there, but, Laurie's like, save yourself, go. You know what I mean? That's a way you can do it. And they both, burn, in Myers' house together. Or, obviously, you could just have, Michael supposedly die in his house. There's so many avenues you can explore with that. And I think that person, making that responded tweet and questioning, hey, isn't that kind of like Halloween 2018? I think it opens up a whole interesting new theory as to how this ending to Halloween Ends could play out. I really think it does. I think it holds some weight. And I'm kind of glad that I went on Twitter and came across that, because as soon as I saw that, I'm just like, man, they're doing a whole nother kitchen fight scene between Michael and Laurie. Now, why would you repeat the same thing unless you were kind of going in the same direction except reversed. I'm starting to genuinely believe that the radio tower and this whole cave dweller title, whatever, isn't as important as we may think, and even the mask of Michael Myers isn't as important as we think. I'm starting to believe that maybe the house, the Myers house, holds the key to possibly getting rid of Michael. Now, this is another thing I have in mind. We know for a fact that the directors want to make more Michael Myers movies. Even Nick Castle, and I'm going to make a video about the article I read on him the other day. Even Nick Castle basically has said that they want to do more Halloween movies with Michael Myers in it. Now, what if this whole theory that I came about is true? That Laurie's going to burn down Michael's house with Michael in it. And let's just say Laurie lives. We're not even going to count her being in the house with him. Let's just say she lives and she burns Michael's house to a crisp with him in it. But then eventually, if you follow the storyline of obviously going after Allison and following her later on in the franchise, then that would all but make certain that Michael Myers is supernatural, which we already believe as fans. But that would drive it home even more so if you would have him supposedly die in his house, and his house be burned to a crisp like the model of his house was in Halloween 2018. If you have Michael supposedly die in his own house, but then eventually come back for later films and you're picking up events after Halloween ends, it would only further cement the fact that Michael Myers is a supernatural being and is obviously not human at all. All human elements at that point would be taken out of it. Alright gang, that's it for this video. Hit the comment section. I want to know what you guys think about this whole new this information from the Halloween trailer. What do you guys think about the whole Michael Myers and Laurie Strode kitchen fight scene? Do you think it kind of does mimic the Halloween 2018 scene in the kitchen? And what do you guys think about my theory about the possible ending for Halloween Ends ending at Michael Myers' house and Laurie Strode possibly burning down the Myers home with Michael in it like she had intended with the model of the Myers home in Halloween 2018? Hit the comment section. I want to hear from you guys. But alright gang, as you know, this is I Shine 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. I am your host Marcus. Please guys, shoot that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. As well as hit that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. As well as follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you for watching and thank you for your support.